So hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Evenings. It's episode 3. The first most important thing that I need to address is my switch. Okay? Now, I don't know how well you can see it, so I'll try to roll that on me a little bit. Alright, so you see that? I'm sure you can see that. It says good above. It says vibes underneath. I don't feel like, it's necessary. But, I mean to show you all of that. The second thing that's very important to put out there is these pants. You can just see the knees. But, they're super fun, super comfortable. I got them from my friend Katie, who works with the band Gypsy Moonshine. She's a singer and all that good stuff. Plays guitar. She's amazing. You should check her out. Girl, you ain't checking it out, you don't know what it's about. So, the thing I want to cover the most this evening is how we have the ability to be both positive and negative. Within all of us, like the yin and yang thing, we can cultivate whatever we want within ourselves. With that being said, I'm going to share a little bit about myself. Just something important that I think everybody needs to understand. And I know a lot of you can relate and will refuse to admit that this is a part of your life, that you've ever done this. And that's okay. You can be whoever you want. Just know karma, God, Allah, whatever it is you believe in. The point is, it'll come back around. Everything does. Everything does. So when I was younger, especially, I was a less than reputable fellow. Not one of those strapping young lads, getting it all together and being all fun and caring, all that good stuff. I was a double-edged sword, so to speak. I could make you love me, and then I would destroy everything about you, everything you ever loved, everything you ever cared for, everything that was ever you. And it's not something I'm proud of. I'm explaining for context. It's like I had the ability to cultivate positivity, which I've done, obviously. But at the time, I didn't care to. I didn't want to, It's lighting a little different. Oh, check that out. Oh. When I was young, I did a lot of things to a lot of people. And so those of you out there who refuse to admit it, it's okay. Got you. I'll do all the admitting for you. When I was young, I used to cheat and lie, steal, manipulate, everything. And if somebody loved me wholeheartedly, that was so much worse for them. So much worse for them, because then it became like a game, and it was terrible. It's not something that anyone should do. So, if you're in a relationship with somebody currently, and they tell you they love you, and you're not really in it, but you're like, man, this is flattering, this is pretty, oh my god, like, what can I do with this? What can I gain from this? Like, how can I mess around with this? Whatever it is, it's like, you've got to realize there's another person involved. There's a whole nother person involved here. I mean, it's not so crazy, but when there's somebody else involved, you're affecting their life. You shouldn't go around destroying. Chaos is inevitable. Within chaos is beauty. Within beauty is chaos. They feed each other. Without either, we would not have art. And art is beautiful. Art is what keeps the world going round and round and round and round and round and round and round. I still haven't gotten entirely used to the whole webcam version, so like motions are a bit odd for me. It's like, where's that at? It's up there, it's not here, Don't make fun of me, guys. I know some things about technology, but there are some that's just like, what? Things people come up with. But it's like, we have the ability, and I chose the darker path because I thought, why not, Why not see what happens? And then, for me, I personally could not believe harder in karma because I've seen it. And that's how any person who believes anything will tell you. It's like, if you wholeheartedly believe it and have seen it, experienced it, then there's nothing else you can do. Like those people that have seen Jesus, I personally have not, but those people that have, fucking right on, man. Like that's what works. I've seen karma in its finest, and I witnessed it after years of manipulating and lying, doing all these horrible things to all these people. Let me fix this moment. So, sorry. Full butter? Yeah, full butter. It's like, after all the years of manipulating and lying and doing all the things that no one should ever do to anyone, ever, I got a dose of that myself. And that's the thing. It's like, no matter what you do, no matter what you believe in, it comes back to you in some fashion. And so, to enact upon negative energy is obviously going to land you in a negative position further down the road. So why would you want to do it? Some people like to flagellate themselves. What is that called? Is it flagellation? I might be saying it wrong. I've done that before. You can correct me. If you have a comment on this video and want to correct me, please do. Like, this is not the best quality video, but honestly, my regular camera that I use, it sadly ran out of batteries halfway through me recording this episode, so I'm charging them currently, but I can't, you know, I gotta work with what I got. And this episode was supposed to be out like 4 days ago. So behind. But like, so I chose to cultivate those things about myself, right? And many years down the road, I saw it come back to me. I saw people start doing the things to me that I had done to them. And that's how, no matter what you do in life, it doesn't matter if it's a relationship, or if it's a friendship, or if it's just like a coworker, you know, if it's anybody, how you treat anybody in the whole world, how you approach life in general, that's going to come back to you. You attract like energy. Even if you don't believe in, like, you know, the scientific aspect, it's like, even in the religious aspect, it's like, you are, you know, sinners are drawn to other sinners, blah, blah, you know, all, like, they always say in religion that, like, you know, the devil and temptation and stuff runs together, you know, so obviously any of that stuff applies, no matter how you look at it. And so I started seeing all of that, and I remember back in 2013, 2017 now. Wow! But in 2013, I had one of the worst karma things happen to me in my life. And it was out of a relationship, for sure, but it was one of the worst experiences, and it reminded me of something I had done to someone else. Like, I had literally done that. And so I went and contacted the last 6 people that I had been with that I had done something negative to, even friends, stuff like that. Like, I contacted a whole bunch of people, and I was like, I am so sorry. Like, you don't understand that I had no idea. I wasn't thinking of anyone else but myself during those times. And, you know, regardless of who you are out there watching this video, it's like, I'm sure there are plenty of you who can admit that there are times that you were self-serving and honestly, you know, didn't realize how something you might have said affected somebody else, or something you did hurt them, or, you know, this or that, or even if it did, you know, you knew it, like, you still were like, you know, could have been worse, like, they'll deal with it, it's okay, you know, I've already moved on, I'm happy with what I'm doing, so they'll just have to figure it out. And that's horrible. Like, that's not how you treat people. You know, and so in many different aspects, you know, I was a less than reputable character in friendships and relationships and family ships, you know, whatever it may be called. And, you know, not everybody else was the same either, but that's not the point. It's like, you know how many people refuse to come forward and admit when they are wrong? And it's like, I have done so many things, like, I could name a million things that I have done, that it's just like, what? You know, I mean, I had somebody who was head over heels for me, would have done everything for me in the entire world, and then I was just like, I'm gonna go start talking to my ex. I don't really like him that much, but, like, you know, it's still something to do. Send him, like, a Christmas present? It's like, what? We're not even together. I don't like you. I'm with somebody else. And I'm sending you Christmas presents? That's weird. You don't do that to people. Do you understand? And it's like, not only that, but then, you know, he found out about that, was still willing, like, he wanted to break it off, and then he was like, no, I still love you. Like, I want to try to work through this. You didn't technically cheat, you know, like, let's try to work through this. And then I, meet one of his best friends, and I'm like, oh, I'm suddenly in love with your best friend. Sorry, bye. See ya. Like, where is it? Yeah. See ya. Like, yeah. So I just up and took off. I told him, I was like, hey, will you drop me off over at this guy's house? And he was like, I guess, yeah, sure. Like, he was very supportive, and that's what made it so heartbreaking in the end. Like, in 2013, when I got a hold of everybody and realized all the shit that they'd gone through, it's like that guy ended up getting so depressed and so miserable for months after that. And that's one of the most highest forms of abuse that you can do to somebody. It's like you have somebody that loves you more than anything in the world, and you're going to drag them up until the last minute and then just be like, sorry, your feelings are irrelevant. I'm going to go hang out with your best friend. See ya, bye. But I'm still going to buy you a birthday present, because that's also weird. I still did that. Like, with this new best friend that I was dating, I went back and bought a birthday present for that guy that I just told you about that was head over heels for me. So that's another negative thing that you don't do. Like, I understand, like, people, can be friends outside of relationships and still maintain friendships. I get that. But this was within a month. Within a month of me switching to dating this new guy, that I went and bought this ex his birthday present. And it's like, no, that's disrespectful, that's rude. And there's just so many things that, like, I've personally done to people, and I can tell you that you should never, ever, 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 ever treat somebody like that. Ever. Like, I have insulted people to the point of them crying. I have made them feel like so much dirt. There was one time, I was 17, and there was this guy at this party. His name's Bobby. His name's Bobby. Not Bobby Fish, but Bobby. And he gave me his class ring. He was the first guy to give me his class ring, and I got rid of that not too long ago. But he gave me his class ring, and he was real southern talking all the time, all that good stuff. Kind of, country boy. Yeah. And anyway, we were at a party one night, and I didn't like him. I wasn't attracted to him. I started dating him without knowing him first. Over the phone. Like, one of my friends was like, here, hold the phone while I go pee, and passed it to his friend. And then his friend talked to me forever. We seemed to get along well. And he was like, hey, want to, like, date maybe? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? He was like, okay. And then we went out on a date in real life, and I was like, oh god, I'm sorry, like, there's something about you that, and it's not his dress, it's not that he's in the country, it's not any of that, I'm not against people for their, things, it's his chemistry was off. There was things about him that was just not gonna mesh with me. And I knew that right away. And the problem is that I did not deal with that appropriately. I should have told him right then and there, hey, sorry, I can't continue this. I'm not actually interested. Thank you for the invite to date. I appreciate that. That would have been appropriate. But instead, I continued. I continued the date. I continued, to date for the next couple weeks. And then we were at a party one night, and I got shit-faced drunk and put out a cigarette on his neck. Like, he was trying to come up to me for, like, affection, and I was not about it. So I came up to his face, and I got real close and personal. And I was like, hey, Bobby, I don't really like you. And then just put out a cigarette right on his neck. Like, dug it in, Did you hear that, or was that just me? Very fascinating. Anyway, this video has gone on for a while, and I could explain a lot more, but my point is that these are horrible things that you don't do. It's like I put out a cigarette on his neck and then told him, yeah, sorry, not really interested. Can't really do that. Sorry. I think something's fucking with my trash. But my main point of all of this is, yeah, I might have done some crazy shit, and yeah, you know, we're all alive today, and we're all doing well, and it is what it is, but it's like, you don't do that to people, and more people need to own up. Own up. Like, just be real in the moment. Tell people that you don't like them. Tell people you aren't about it. Say it up front. Don't treat them like shit. Don't drag them through the mud. Don't insult them. Don't punch them. I punched a guy once, like, for 30 minutes. I was like, can I hit you? And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, right on. And I just, like, punched the shit out of him for a while. Like, yeah, it didn't hurt him that much because I'm a small little girl. I mean, in the sense that, you know, I'm a small person. Like, you know, I didn't have a lot of force behind it. You know, muscle mass, didn't have at the time. So, yeah, I didn't hurt him, but it's still emotionally weird. Because if my partner is super smaller than me and can't hurt me and is still coming up wanting to punch me all the time, that's gonna be like, do you really like me, or am I just your human punching bag? Like, do you just need to get out a lot of frustrations and I'm just the one that's gonna put up with that? Because that shit's not right. And don't ever let anybody tell you that it is. Because it's not. It will never be okay. Never be someone's human punching bag. If they come home from work and they insult you for not doing good enough job vacuuming, or, oh, you didn't take the trash out? What the hell's wrong with you? You know? Insulting you because you missed a spot, because you didn't do this right or that right, or because you didn't predict what they were thinking. Oh, I'm sorry about my cell phone. Oh my god, I bet it's really important. I guess that's probably not my cue. But it's like the most important thing to realize. Is that you have the ability to be whoever you want to be at any point. You can be positive, you can be negative. Be positive and love. Don't treat people like shit. I'll give more examples in upcoming videos, and I'll detail this out a lot better for you. But there's just no way I can stress it harder. Don't be a fucking asshole.